What's up, everyone? All right, so we're going to break down the trades from today. Right now, we've got a penny stock up over 200%. Once again, we are in this penny stock cycle where we keep seeing these back-to-back huge percentage moves. And if you know me and you know my strategy, I don't love trading these stocks. So even though it's up right now over 200%, how much am I up on it? $161.40. That was not my biggest winner, but you know what? The stock that I made the most on, my biggest winner, I'm up $8,517 on, and that was a stock that is kind of funny, but it was actually the stock that I had my big loss on Thursday. I lost $25,000 on this stock on Thursday. Today, it hits the scanner, it starts squeezing up, and I was like, you know what? I was a little hesitant at first, but once it started to move, I was like, I don't want to form a bias. Just because it broke my heart once before doesn't mean I shouldn't give it a second chance. I gave it a second chance and boom. You know, it didn't totally redeem itself, but it's making its way in the right direction. All right, so we're going to go over the trades from today. Now, by the way, yesterday I uploaded the longest class to YouTube that I have so far ever uploaded. 3 hours and 5 minutes, condensing 27 years of trading knowledge, going over these topics, which you can see right here. So far, it seems like you guys have really enjoyed this episode. It's getting a lot of views, which I love. So if you haven't already checked it out, do me a favor and go over and watch a few minutes of that episode and see what you think of it, because I think you'll be impressed. I tried to teach it like you're a good friend who's come to me who's saying, Ross, I want to learn how to trade. Like, just break it down for me. What are the basic things I need to understand? And so I kind of go back to the beginning and walk you through, all right, if you're really serious about this, this is the right way to approach it. So for those of you guys who've been watching on YouTube for a while, I really encourage you to check out this class that I just uploaded yesterday. I will also, by the way, put a link in the description for my 2-week trial. As you know, Black Friday is coming up in about a week. A week from this Friday will be Black Friday. Our biggest sales of the year here at Warrior Trading will be running. They haven't started yet, but they're coming soon. And I'd like you guys to do a 2-week trial. That way you can get into the community, get in the chat room, use the software, and really know what it's all about here at Warrior Trading before you join. That gives you just peace of mind that you know the community that you're going to be a part of. So anyways, the link for the 2-week trial is in the comments and in the description. And let's go ahead and jump into the recap. So Pfrx, halting down, halting up. Why is it halting so much? Because this is a stock that closed yesterday below 75 cents a share. So if we get the whiteboard out here, what you'll know is that when a stock, my whiteboard camera's off, I think. When a stock closes below 75 cents, the halt bands are every 30 cents, 15 cents up, 15 cents down, which means it trades basically with a 30-cent band wrapping around the price action. So as the stock is moving up or dipping down, moving back up, it's constantly trading with a halt band that is 15 cents above the reference price. That's the halt up, and 15 cents below the reference price. So this is the halt down. So this is basically like a band that is outside of the current reference price. Now the reference price is calculated as the average price over 5 minutes. So it's the average price over the last 5 minutes. So, and it's updates every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, this reference point is getting updated, and then the halt bands are right around there. So if we look at Pfrx right now, you'll see that it's currently trading at $1.41. The halt up is $1.59. The halt down is $1.29. So the halts are 30 cents either way, which makes it easy to calculate what the halt level will be. And by the way, it's really important to be able to know what those halt levels are so you know how tight they are and if you're about to buy and be getting potentially right into a stock that's about to get halted, either to the upside or the downside. So I can see the halt prices, the halt levels, and I can see the resumption prices when a stock is halted because of the data that I use. All of our members at Warrior Trading who are using our simulator also have access to that same data. Okay, so Pfrx, when I first sat down this morning, it was already up 200%. And I was like, wow, okay, we've got a big gapper. What's the float on this? 600,000 shares, super low float, up big. All right, I'm interested. But when I sat down, I realized it's got this topping tail here up to $1.92, and this was like coming into 635. So by 7 a.m. when I was sitting down, it was already pulling back too much. So I was like, darn it, I'm just not going to be able to trade it. There's nothing I can do. So that was off the list. First trade of the day instead was actually a loser. It was ALCE. You guys probably want to see my P&L for the day. All right, sitting right now, coming up to 11 a.m. at $2,121.14. Not a great day, not a horrible day, kind of a small green day. ALCE, first stock I traded this morning. All right, so this one hits my scanner, and so I said to myself, now normally in a hot market, I'm going to jump in a stock as it starts squeezing up, because what you learn is that in a hot market, if you sit here waiting for the perfect setup, it's just going to run without you. You're going to miss the whole thing. So in a hot market, you train yourself to jump in faster and kind of ask questions later. But that'll start to burn you when the market gets colder. And it did last week. I got burned on a couple of trades. So this week, I've been a little bit more cautious to let that first pop happen, let it pull back, and if it rallies back up, that's where I'm going to take a trade. So it rallied back up here. It actually goes all the way through to here, and then it does a little micro pullback right here. So see how we have 3 green candles in a row? First red candle, and I bought right here as this candle made a new high. Now, it did have 2 topping tails, which was a little risky, but because it was holding over this level, I thought it was going to work, and especially at that time of day. Volume profile was decent, high volume green candles. MACD was open, so like everything felt okay. Float is super low, but there was one red flag, and it was that there was no news. There was no news headline on it. So I was like, well, that's not great, but it is moving. I took the trade, and I lost $960.30. First trade of the day in the red. Boom. Okay. That's not how I wanted to start my morning. All right. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, well, it is what it is, right? Nothing you could do now, but focus on the next trade. So then TRNR pops up on my scanner, and I immediately see it, and my heart flutters a little bit because I'm like, oh gosh, you hurt me so bad last week. I can't bear to, even look at you, but I took an oath, to treat every stock fairly. And you're back on the scanner here today, and you've got news at 7 a.m. Son of a gun. I don't know if I shouldn't just totally disregard it. I should probably at least consider it. And next thing you know, it's squeezing, it's pulling away. And I'm like, okay, fine. You get a second chance. And so I go ahead and jump in and look at this chart. So it pops up, I don't touch it. Pops up, I don't touch it. It goes up here and I'm like, okay, I'll consider. Micro pullback, nice, really nice. Goes to 4 all the way up to 5. But this pullback right here dips down, and I add back right here heavier because the first pullback was so solid. And what happened? I gave back everything I made right there when it dropped back down. So I was green on it here, and then I took this trade with bigger size, and then I was red right here, back to flat on the stock. That's annoying. So it rallies back up here, as you can see, and I did end up doing a dip off of volume weighted average price. It sells off, but I got the bounce. So basically I got in right here on this candle. I then stopped out. It goes lower. I bought the dip. It comes back up, and I got back to green on it. All right, so that was better than nothing. Then right through here, break a VWAP, little trade there from 415 up to 450. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it did start moving here. Rallies back up to 460, trading it through this area, and got myself nicely into the green on it. Unfortunately, what ended up happening today is I would make money on TRNR, and then I would go lose it on a different stock. I traded 10 stocks today, 9 stocks today, and I'm only green on 3 of them. And basically all my profit is on TRNR. The other 2 are small winners. So I took some trades on TRNR, and then XCUR hits the scans. XCUR on the scanners, popping up, lower float stock. I look at it thinking, it looks decent. Maybe I should give this thing a chance. And I end up taking a trade on this thing. Once again, pops up, don't trade it, pulls back, pops up, pulls back, bought it right here. Goes up to 590, rejects, pretty much immediate loss on XCUR, $1,200. All right. But then I go back to TRNR and I get a couple more trades. And then XPON pops up on my scanner, and I jump in XPON, and I lose $600 on this one. So this one pops up, pulls back, pops up, bought right here, and it immediately drops. So lost 600 on that one. And then I went back to TRNR, got a couple more trades. Then I had SNOA. SNOA pops up. And as it starts to break through this area, I got in, and I'll show you on the 1 minute chart so you can see better. This one I got in just before the open. So I got in for the breakthrough 350 right here. It goes up to 360, nasty rejection. Red on that one. And then I go back to TRNR. I get a couple more trades on TRNR. But I ended up getting to this point where I peaked on the day at about $4,000 of profit. And then I would have maybe, one bigger loss, like a $1,200 loss, and then like a $300 winner on TRNR, or a $400 winner. And then I'd have another $1,200 loss, and then another $400 winner. So this is what my P&L looked like today. So if we break down the P&L, let's see. So the P&L today was kind of like this. Started down 900, got myself up 2,000, and then came right back down like this, and then got myself back to up like this, maybe 3,000, about 3,000. So this is minus 1,000. And then went, back down again, and then back up here to the peak of about 4,000, and then back down again, and then back up, and then back down, and then back up, and then back down. And I actually went back to red 700, and then finished right here at 2,000. So, in hindsight, today was very jumpy and choppy. And all of the profit was TRNR, 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 TRNR. And all of the losses were these other stocks I was jumping on, thinking they were maybe going to get going and start to pull away, but that kept not happening. So I got myself a little frustrated today, especially when I went here back to red, which was minus $700. And, I don't know. I never went big green today. I never went big red. It was just sort of the whole day was just sort of slow. But in hindsight, I guess I could have had a pretty decent day if I'd only traded TRNR, but of course I'd started the day with a loss. And, it's also true that when you have one stock that you're trading well and then it's sort of pulling back, you start looking at the next one. And it usually that works well for me. Today was kind of surprising. I'm not really sure what the issue was. The overall market is bouncing up right now. The price of Bitcoin, which I've been keeping a little bit of an eye on as it pertains to some of the small cap stocks that are in the crypto space, doing okay here. So, we're kind of range bound. We started to break through this level right here. And I did take a trade on BTBT this morning. And that's another one where, I got in, BTCT. I got in BTCT, and this was right here on this sort of first push, got green on it, and then got back in and flipped from green to red on it. Now I'm only down $600 on BTCT, but look, one thing I did well today was I cut my losses quickly, but they kind of added up. A lot of sort of paper cuts. And yes, it was nice that I had some trades on TRNR, although it wasn't like I just got, 2 huge trades on it. I traded a ton, and, that's what it ended up totaling out as. And fees and commissions are higher today, no doubt, because I was jumping in and out. In fact, that's been the case this last sort of week plus, where I've been coming in each day, trading more aggressive, really trying to step up to the plate. But then if I end up not getting big winners, well, I'm definitely getting big commissions because every trade I take costs me money. So, I keep stepping up to the plate. I'm getting some base hits. I'm avoiding, big strikeouts, but I'm trying to position myself for the next, 25K, 50K, 100K day, and I'm positioned well for it. I'm definitely positioned well for it. I'm taking the right size. I'm taking the right trades. We're just not seeing those stocks open up in a big way. But it's kind of like swinging, I guess in baseball. It will connect. I keep stepping up, I keep showing up, and it will connect. Now, sometimes you get into a groove and it's like boom, bang, 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 home run after home run. And I know that I'm not supposed to be thinking about hitting home runs, but when the market is hot, what I start to do is I trade more frequently and I increase my share size because I know during a hot market, that's when I can make a lot of profit. And so, base hits in a hot market can be $5,000, $7,000 winners. So I get 10 of those in one day and it's a $50,000 to $75,000 green day. It's incredible. So knowing that, it's not like I'm stepping up to try to hit a $75,000 or $100,000 winner in one trade, but I just step up with bigger size for every base hit. The problem today was that, I really didn't didn't end up getting, to be honest, I don't feel like I had a single trade today that was like a really awesome trade. Just a bunch of small trades, small winners, some small losers, but I didn't have any really solid trades. And TRNR being the stock I made the most on, I mean, if we look at the price action of it, I mean, it went from 3 to 533, right? Which is not bad, but I didn't even start trading until up around like 4. So I trade within a pretty narrow range here and probably did pretty well, partly because of trading with larger share size, but we didn't get that. We didn't get a 4 or 5 point move today. Now, speaking of 4 or 5 point moves, yesterday BKKT. So BKKT has news yesterday that that Trump media is in advanced talks with them to buy them out. The stock goes up 160%. The thing that's tricky about this type of news catalyst is that if they actually do get bought out, do you think they're going to get bought out for 3 times the trading price that they had on the open market a couple days ago? Seems kind of unlikely, right? That kind of doesn't make sense, especially when you're talking about Trump, the art of the deal. I mean, he wants to get a deal. Why would he pay 3 times the current market value of a company? It just doesn't make sense. So, like, on the one hand, yes, okay, he's in advanced talks to buy them, but they could come out with the news that he is buying them for $16 a share and it drops a ton. So I think right now you're seeing a lot of people that are shorting it, that are gaming for that kind of move. And I'm sort of surprised that it's holding up as well as it is, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, a buyout catalyst is a buyout rumor. Stocks don't go up 1,000% on a buyout rumor because the person buying them out is not going to pay that much. And they're not going to sell if it actually goes that high. So if the only reason they're up is because of a buyout rumor from Trump media, and then it becomes too expensive for him to buy it, then he's not going to buy it. And then what happens to the company? It goes back to being the company it was before, which was trading at $12 a share. Is someone else going to come along and offer them money? Maybe, but not necessarily. So anyways, I'm not a huge fan of trading buyout rumors. I mean, look, if I had been sitting here when the rumor first came out, sure, I would have jumped in and traded that the first spike of volatility. Like, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But just at the end of the day, when something goes up 300-400%, or even this 200% on that kind of catalyst, I start to get a little bit like, does that really add up? Does that really make sense? So how much is it up since the move yesterday? Must be 300% or something like that, 200%. So let's see, we peaked at about 226%, about 240%. Right. So, I don't know. That's just my thought, but I didn't take any trades on it today. I did watch it and I just pretty much was like, price is too high, spreads are too big, float is fine, but yeah, it's too risky. I could just too easily lose 75 cents or $1 a share. I just don't want to screw up. So I just said, I'm gonna play it safe on that one. So anyways, played it safe there. Stuck around a little longer. It's 11 a.m. right now. I was kind of waiting and hoping that we would, get something really clean that started to pop up and pull away, but we haven't. I mean, well, we got PFRX, right? But that is just not really within my price range, and because of those back-to-back halts where I think I would do well. So no trades on that. All right, so that's it for me. Hey, by the way, if you didn't already check out this episode, I hope you go check that out. I'll put the link right here for you to watch that. And I'll remind you, as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so please manage your risk, take it slow. And I'll be live streaming for Warrior Pro members first thing tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. So I'll see you then.